So the question on the screen is restore IP addresses. So an IP address is 4 members separated by dots, and then each member is between 0 and 255. Now we are handed a string of digits with no dots, and our job is to find every valid way to drop 3 dots in and split it into 4 legal parts. So we have 2 rules which is given in this problem description. First is that the value should be between 0 and 255 over here, and second is this one, which means it cannot have leading zeros. So the mental model that will make everything click is that we are not really building strings. Instead, we are deciding where to place 3 dots. So 4 paths means 3 gaps, and then at each step we will basically ask how long is the next part, so 1 digit, 2 digit, 3 digits. Then we try each option, and wherever a choice leads to a dead end, we back up and then we try a next one. So this try a choice, explore it and undo it, and then try another pattern is backtracking. So that's our biggest hint. Now let me walk through the code. So over here, n is the length of our input string. We will compare it against our constantly, so we just grab it once, initialize it a variable n, and then result is just an empty list that will collect every valid IP and that we return at the end of the code. So now over here we are doing like a quick sanity check, which means that 4 paths, now each 1 to 3 digits, means that the shortest possible string is 4, and then the longest will be 12. So if the input is outside that range, so there is not even a point in trying, because so we can just return an empty list immediately. So now this is our helper function. So this helper function first will ask if it's not segment, which means if it catches an empty chunk, it rejects it, so returns false. Now the second one is that if the size of the segment, the input string, is more than 1 digit, and then if the first character is a 0, then we can return false, because we are told that shouldn't have leading zeros. And then the third sanity check over here is that we need to check that the number is between 0 to 255, but it's a string, right? So we convert it to an integer, and then we check that if it's 0 to 255. Now Python automatically returns a true or a false, so this is returning a true or a false. Now we come to the heart of this algorithm, which is our backtracking function. So over here in this, we are checking that over here, when we have placed 4 paths, we check the finish line. So if start equals to n, which means that the cursor has landed exactly at the end, so every digit got used and there's nothing left, so this is a real IP. So we join the 4 paths with dots and then we just save it. And now over here for length in a range from 1 to 4, so if we do not have 4 paths yet, we try cutting off the next part as like 1, 2 or 3 digits, and then for each length we basically ask that if slicing that many characters would run past the end of the string, we stop. Otherwise, over here, we grab the chunk, and if it's a valid part, we commit it, we recurse to place the next part, and then we undo it, and then we can try the next length. And that's what this whole backtracking function is. So over here, we are trying our segment to be start and then start plus length. So we are trying 1, 2, and 3 lengths. And then we are trying our recursive function for start plus length. And yeah, we are choosing, we are backtracking, we are popping the classic backtrack approach. And at the end, we are kicking it off. So we start at index 0 with an empty path, and then we let it run, and then we return everything once it's collected. And let me check. Okay, so over here, we have our example. So if you look, if this is our input, so if the input is 255, 255, 11135, now if we start at index 0, we first try 2, then we try 25, and then we try 255. Now at this point, when the cursor reaches over here, it's a valid IP. So we take 255 from here, and then again we will take 255, and then we add it, and this will be added, and then the remaining answer is, the remaining part is 111,111,355. Now at this point, we take 1, and then we have 3 paths, so 255.11, and then the remaining will be 135, and then we take all 3, so 135, and then this will give us our first answer. Now the magic of backtracking is that we undo the last choice, which was 111. We undo the last choice, which was 1 over here. We undo it, and then we try 111, so 111 as our third part. Now that leaves us 35, which is valid, and then we finish the string, and this makes our second answer, and at the end we just return it.